Good morning, afternoon, or evening. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to Mr. Morrow's Algebra 2 class. Today we're going to be talking about the point-slope form of a linear equation. And in a linear equation, what we're talking about is a straight line. Okay? So what happens in a straight line is there's three forms of the equation. Excuse me for 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. So there are three forms of a linear equation, and luckily we've learned two of the three forms. We're going to learn the third one today. Hopefully by now you guys understand the slope-intercept form. This is the best method to graph a linear equation. It's nice and easy. It's the best way to graph. Y is the dependent variable. M is the slope, not the x, but the M is the slope. And B equals the y-intercept. Okay? So you graph the y-intercept, then you follow the slope for 3 to 5 points. Done. Let's skip over number 2 for a second because that's what we're learning today. We already learned the standard form of linear equations. Standard form is in the form of ax plus by equals c, where a and b are integers. Okay, they're not fractions or decimals, but they're integers. And this is the best form to graph as well if and only if a and b are factors of c. Then you would graph that way. So we know how to graph it. That's great. How do we write it? Well, the best way to write linear equations, to write an equation or a function that's linear, is by using the point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where m, of course, is my slope. Okay, awesome. And my x1 comma y1 is a given point. Okay? So x1, y1 will be a given point, and then you have a slope there as well. So these are the three forms of linear functions or linear equations. Live it, love it, and learn it, because you're going to see these in all three formats. All right? And basically the verbiage that I have down here, we have already learned how to work with slope-intercept form, which is by far the best form to use when graphing a linear equation. Today we will learn how to use the point-slope form, which is the best form when writing a linear equation. Okay? Now I know that you guys are stressed out because you don't have the notes online today. I'm sorry. You can watch the video though later. So we got to move on. Okay. So point-slope form, guys. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x1, y1 is a given point. Since you will always be given either the slope and 1 point or 2 points, which can render the slope and 1 point, always use the point-slope form of linear equations to write linear equations. Okay, how does it work? Example 1. A line passes through negative 5, comma 2 with a slope of 3/5. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay. They're going to ask you to write the final answer in slope-intercept form, but in order to get there, you first have to put it into point-slope form. So, step 1, find the slope, which they already gave you, and then label the given point x1, y1. Well, in this case, my negative 5 is my x1, my 2 is my y1. Done. It's that simple. Okay? So in this particular case, we have everything we need here. They gave you the slope already, and they gave you the x1, y1. Step 2, plug in the slope and the x1, y1 into the point-slope form. And you're done. The equation is now in point-slope form. In order to convert the equation into slope-intercept form, simply solve for y so as to put it in y equals mx plus b form. What is this crazy man talking about? Let me show you. The point-slope form is y minus y1, which is 2 in this case, equals m which is 3/5, times x minus x1, which is -5 in this case, so x minus a -5 would be x plus 5. You're done if I asked you to leave it in point slope form. That's point slope form, you're done. But I asked you to place this into slope-intercept form. So in order to put it into slope-intercept form, my brothers, we have to solve for y. So we have y minus 2 equals, distribute, 3/5 x. Okay, remember, distribute that there, plus 3. Add the 2 to both sides, and my equation is y equals 3/5 x plus 5. That, my friends, is the slope-intercept form. And that's it. You're done. Talk to me. Yes, sir, my brother. No, there's no shortcut, unfortunately. This is exactly how you have to do it. But thank you, sir, for caring. Thank you. Does that make sense? Yes, sir, my brother. Will the numbers always be out like that? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Okay, so they're going to give you either a point and a slope, or they're going to give you 2 points, and you're going to follow the formula. For example, this was an easy one because I gave you the point and the slope. Let me do another example. This may answer your question. Okay. What if I were to tell you? Okay, this is just another simple one, but let's practice it. Write the equation of the line in both point slope form and slope intercept form for a line that passes through -3/6 and a slope of -5. Label, 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 label. x1, y1. And this is my slope. This is my m. So, point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, but a negative times -3 is a positive. That's my point slope form. I'm done. Slope-intercept form. Solve for y. Y minus 6 equals -5x minus 15. Add the 6 to both sides. Y equals -5x minus 9. You're done. So when they give it to you in this format, where they give you a point and a slope, you literally just plug it into the formula. But you gotta know your formula. The point slope formula, once again, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I just plugged it in. Does that make sense so far, gentlemen? You promise me? Okay. I'm trusting you guys. All right. What happens here, though? Oh, a little different. A line passes through 3, 2, and 5, 8. What is the equation of the line in both point slope form and slope intercept form? What do we have to do here first, my brother?
Find the slope by
I'm very proud of you. So this is x1, label, 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 y1, x2, y2. So in this case, they gave you the x1, y1, but they did not give you the slope. So my slope, which remember is the m, equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this would be 4 over 2. So my slope is 2. Now, let's put it into point slope form. Point slope form. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Maybe I should learn how to add. That's 6. I apologize. Thank you. No excuses. So that would be 3. My bad, and thank you. So point slope form would be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus 2 equals 3x minus 9. Add the 2. y equals 3x minus 7. That would be my slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept, point slope. Does that make sense? Yes, sir, my brother. You would get the same thing if you plug in the 5 and the 8, absolutely. You'd have a different point slope form, but when you solve for y, you'd have the same exact slope-intercept form. Yes, sir. It's the same line. Remember, you have all those points are on the line, so it doesn't matter. Yes, sir.
So we'd be able to pick whichever point?
Yes, sir. You could pick whichever point you want, but why reinvent the wheel? If you already labeled the x1, y1, why don't you just stick with the x1, y1, in my opinion? Why confuse yourself? Sir.
So the main objective, though, is to get it into the original formula, right?
The main objective is to get it to y equals mx plus b, which is the slope-intercept form. Yes, sir, 100%, my man. Thank you, sir. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, who said no? Talk to me, guys. Okay, so what happens in a situation like this, though? Okay? In a situation like this where they say, what is the graph of the equation? Guys, you could go ahead and solve for y, but if you were to solve for y, you're going to notice that you have a y-intercept that's a fraction. And it's not like that's mathematically illegal, but it is mathematically difficult to graph a fraction. So let's think about what this point slope form really represents. This is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So if you think about it, the y1 and the x1 are always going to be the opposite signs of what's given to you in the point slope form. So what would happen here is the following. What is my x1, y1? Okay, no. Guys, this is x minus x1. If it's x minus 2, what was the value of x1? Positive 2. This is y minus 1. Okay, this is y minus y1. So what's the y1 value? 1. So go to 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. What's my slope, y'all? So up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. And that's it. You're done. What if I had given you something like this, just to change it up? Y plus 1 equals whatever, 3 times x plus 2. Okay, remember, that y minus y1 and x minus x1. So they're opposites. So what would my x1, y1 be in this particular case? Negative 2 and negative 1. Why? Okay, if this is x minus x1, and I have a plus 2, what did I have as an x1 value? Negative 2, because x minus a negative 2 is x plus 2. So negative 2 is my x1. If this is a y minus y1, and I have a positive 1, what was the value of y1? Negative 1. Because y minus a negative 1, a negative times a negative is a positive. So that's how I got negative 2, negative 1. In that case, this would be negative 2, negative 1, which is here. My slope is 3, up 1, 2, 3 over 1, down 1, 2, 3 over 1, and bada bing, bada boom. There you is. Sir, my brother. Yes, I wouldn't even solve for y to see if there was a fraction. If I told you to graph this equation, I put it into point slope form. So easy, brother. Get the x1, y1 point, and then follow your slope both to the right and to the left of it, in my opinion. That's going to make life a lot easier. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? I know we went kind of quick here today, but I know you can handle it because that's it. We're done. So I can answer any questions. I got a few minutes. Yes, sir, my brother. Go ahead first, my man.
I was busy doing the graph of the line. I forget what.
Okay, so again, with the blue, I have y plus 1 equals 3 times x plus 2. Okay? This y plus 1, this comes from a y minus y1. What value of y1 did I plug in here to get a positive 1? A negative 1. So that's why my y1 is negative 1. This is an x minus x1. What value of x1 did I plug in here to get an x plus 2? A negative 2. That's why my x1 is negative 2.
I thought that was related to the.
No, no worries. Thank you for your honesty, son. Does that make sense, guys? Promise? Yes, sir, my brother. The 3 is the slope. The 3 is the slope from my equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Great question, son. Does that make sense, gentlemen? You promise? Yes, no, maybe kind of, sort of? All right, my brothers. Thank you so very much for a great class. I hope you learned a lot, and have a good day.